Christian leaders, this is Pastor John Richards, and welcome to the Christian Leaders Book Club.
Hey, Christian leaders, I'm Pastor Christopher J. Harris, and I'm your co-host of Christian Leaders Book Club. All right, what's up, everybody? Happy November to all of you all. It is the day after Thanksgiving.
Yes, indeed.
Y'all, some of y'all may still be in a turkey hangover, an overload of sweets yesterday. How many of y'all ate leftovers this morning for breakfast? Whatever the case is, we're glad, we're honored, we're thankful that you are here with us today. Welcome to the Christian Leaders Book Club. I am, as the video just said, Christopher J. Harris. This is my partner in reading and rhyme, not crime. The one, the only, Bishop Esquire.
Oh, there he goes. It's always a different name, man. Why has it got to be Bishop Esquire today? That's
next
crazy.
Next month is going to be Rabbi Esquire because it's going to be Christmas.
Hey, man, I had regular breakfast today, man. I didn't have any leftover Thanksgiving.
Really? Regular breakfast today?
Regular breakfast. But you know, we woke up early and go to this movie. So
wait a minute. So what's regular breakfast the day after Thanksgiving for the Richards family?
Pancakes, sausage, bacon, eggs. All the things, man.
No grits?
No, man. If you do pancakes, we don't do grits. It's either or for us.
It's both and.
No, that's a big one right there. You gonna do? We alternate grits one day, pancakes the next.
We are live in living color, and we might be about to lose our friendship because I've never asked you this, but I'm gonna ask you this now. We might be about to lose our friendship.
You ain't even got to ask.
Okay.
It's salt.
Okay. We brothers. We brothers. Come on.
Man, you put sugar on your grits, then we not on. Ain't no Christian Leaders Book Club. That ain't happening, man. That ain't happening.
Listen, man. That right there has broke up friendships and families for years.
Without a doubt.
You might as well get some oatmeal and some cream of wheat if you're gonna put some sugar. Try to put some sugar on your grits.
That's oatmeal stuff right there, man. I ain't dealing with that, man. That's oatmeal stuff.
Yeah.
That's
I love it. Well, listen, everybody, we're so honored, so very glad, and so very thankful that you all are tuned in with us today. And in fact, I hope that many of you have had an incredible holiday, Thanksgiving holiday with family and friends, and you know whatever you desire to do over these last few days. And of course, many of you may have gotten up this morning early and started shopping, and now you're sort of in chill mode. And if that's the case, then thank God for that. Listen, if you didn't get up to shop today, then great for that. And if you ain't got it during this season, then great for that too. Do what you got to do, stay where you got to stay, and live within your means, right?
Yep.
I think there's so much comparison in our culture and our world today, Pastor John, and we may or may not get into that later. But I think, man, the timeliness of this book is it's insane. Like I don't even know how to put into words.
No, I agree, man. I agree.
This is crazy.
A really good read, man. A really good read.
Yeah.
You know, on Sunday, this past Sunday, we prayed a specific prayer for Thanksgiving season was for those who were in grief.
Okay.
You know, because it's a tough season for some people, man. Remembering loved ones. So our specific prayer, we had people pray for one another. And it was a powerful moment in our service, man, because, you know, all the turkey and dressing, all that's fine, man. But there are real people missing loved ones in these moments. and we got to be able to navigate that well, which, you know, is a foray into the book that we read this month.
Yep.
Which It's Okay That You're Not Okay.
So,
written by Megan Devine.
Yep. So we this is actually year 2, Pastor John. Next month will be the completion of year 2 of the Christian Leaders Book Club. And man, this has been absolutely amazing. And we're so very thankful for it. So let's just really fast, because there may be some people listening in for the first time. So let's just really fast kind of recap really quickly where we've been this year and where we're going. We got one more month, December, that we'll be jumping into this. But really fast, first book of the year. Where we start, Pastor John?
48 Days to the Work You Love. It's a book about work and productivity, specifically trying to find a job that you like and that you love, and working towards that process. It's for anybody who is a job seeker. So I thought it was a good way to start the year for folks.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. We jumped in February to Up From Nothing by John Hope Bryant, which was obviously a book about, I shouldn't say obviously, I'm sorry, but it is a book about economics, but a little bit of his story, but also, so it's a little autobiographical, but also I think of a collective and communal challenge to how African Americans in particular approach finances and economics in our culture today. So it's really, really a good book. And we did not realize until going into the following month and connect the dots of the play on words that he had with his title there. So that was really cool for us to kind of get that revelation a month later.
Then we have When Faith Disappoints by our girl Lisa Fields, our apologetics book.
Lisa Victoria Fields.
Yes, Victoria, the whole government name.
Government name.
Autobiographical, but also trying to walk through with people who have these questions about faith that aren't necessarily offensive to God, but trying to figure out how to navigate those well. So a good resource for anybody who's dealing with somebody who's dealing with that, or if you're dealing with it yourself. Yep.
April, we jumped right into The Soul Winning Church, which was such an easy read, but so powerful, chock full of tweetables and quotables, and really to reignite the fire of any believer thinking about what it means to be a soul winner and evangelistic minded. Also gave some very clear, easy strategies for how to incorporate this into the life of your church as well.
Yep. Then we jumped into Healing Leadership Trauma, which is written by a couple of psychologists. But man, that's one of them heavy reads where you got to walk through it slowly, trying to deal with the trauma that many of us have dealt with along the leadership journey. So I thought that was a good book. Again, heavy. So probably would have walked through it slowly, a little bit more slow myself, but a good book for that month as well.
Yep. We skipped Super Communicators because we had to do a scheduling adjustment there. So we got to figure out how we're going to circle back to that at some point. We then dealt with the false white gospel, which, in our culture today of all kinds of other gospels that are being preached and all kinds of other dynamics that are out there that are impacting the church and the body of Christ and evangelical world.
Yeah, we got it.
That thing almost had me in the chokehold.
Almost took you out.
Yeah. The False White Gospel by Jim Wallace, and just really good to hear his heart behind that. And had some not just cultural ideas, but I think historical context as well. So that was good.
Yep. Invisible Jesus by Scott McKnight and Tommy Phillips, a couple of guys who are part of the Red Letter Christian group, who are trying to make sure that we are living out the words of Jesus and how Jesus has become invisible in a lot of spaces because they don't live out the mantras and the things that Jesus have said about things, marginalized folks, for example. And so it's a challenge. That was a challenging book, and it would challenge anybody who has a sense that the gospel is just vertical and not necessarily horizontal as well.
Yeah. Then we tiptoed right on over to the book Shepherds for Sale, and both of us did not grade that book well. Did not agree with much, if not all, of the book. And a part of our indictment of that author in that particular book is that it was chock full of statements and ideas that were not founded, were not backed up by facts, There was not a lot of fact checking in that book, and in fact, we wanted our money back for that one.
Worst book of the year?
Worst book of the year.
Yeah, but to be candid, both of us need to be candid. We intentionally selected a book that we might not agree with.
Yes, we did
for the year. So, but she definitely confirmed the fact that we were like, no, we're not going to agree with this. No. Next one's going to be Tony Campola's Speaking My Mind.
Yes, sir.
It's a book that he didn't necessarily want to write, but he had to write it to his evangelical counterparts and kind of help them along their journey because he used to be there. And you know, oftentimes when you used to be somewhere, you want to get people to get where you are. And he's someone who challenges, again, paired with Invisible Jesus could be a good pair of readings for those who are in those spaces.
Yes, sir. And here we are now in November.
Yes, sir.
And we are getting ready to unpack this book right here. It's okay that you're not okay. And I think what's important to deal with as a subtitle for this book is Meeting Grief and Loss in a Culture That Doesn't Understand. And it's interesting because the author, Megan Devine, was already an author before she actually experienced this. She was an author, she was a therapist, and tragically lost her husband unexpectedly. And her journey is chronicled through this. So, man, let me just, we jumping out. I'm gonna go ahead and jump in on the deep end, Pastor John, on this.
Okay.
Every person that's a Christian should read this book.
I wholeheartedly agree with you. Every person who's a Christian needs to read it. Like, hands down, no question about it. And we talked about this a little bit before we started. Grief is something none of us do well, if we're being candid. Very few of us do well. Let me just put it that way. I'm not going to go the extreme and say none, but very few of us know how to handle it, how to deal with people who are grieving, and handle the grief ourselves. And so,
man, I was reading the book, man, and feeling so convicted. So convicted at some conversations that I've had, at some statements that I've had, at some posts that I've made in response to somebody losing a loved one. And man, I was like, Lord.
Man, some of the phrases she used, I was like, I've used that before. Unbelievable. Like, and she said, don't use these phrases. And I'm like going down the checklist. Oh, shucks. Oh, shucks. Oh, shucks. So yeah, man, that got me, man. That got me.
Yeah, she didn't pull any punches. She backed up what she was saying, not just by her own experience, but it made it so relatable. And in my mind, I don't think you can walk away from this book without having more empathy and compassion for those that are dealing in that moment or in seasons of grief and loss.
Yeah.
I think it's impossible.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, I agree.
Can I set this up a little bit too as we jump into this discussion?
Give us a setup, man.
Yeah. So holiday stress is almost universal.
Oh, for sure.
89%, this is according to the American Psychological Association, 89% of U.S. adults feel stressed during the holiday season. And 41% say their stress is higher than at other times of the year, right? Stress is increasing year to year. So in a poll that was titled Healthy Minds, 41% of U.S. adults say they anticipate more stress related to the holidays this year than last year. So every year it gets higher and higher. Holidays harm mental health for many people. 64% of people already living with mental health say that the holidays make their condition worse. Wow. And 3 in 5 Americans say their mental health is negatively impacted by the holidays. The common drivers of this stress is lack of time, financial pressure, gift giving, family dynamics, which are all cited as key reasons that holiday stress can trigger depression, anxiety, and even substance misuse. And here's what we want to really get to for the sake of this book. Grief and loss is the top holiday stressor and has been based on research, for the last 67 years. Now, obviously, we know it's probably longer than that, but just in terms of a research perspective, many people don't even feel like celebrating anything during the holidays because of grief. 47% say a key reason was grief, was grieving a loss or a missed loved one that they received, that they embraced, or not embraced, but that they had more holiday stress or didn't feel like doing anything during the holidays. Another grief-focused poll reported that nearly 40% of Americans had no interest in celebrating anything from October through February.
Wow. October all the way to February?
October through February. Bro. Like, think about all the stuff that happens in our lives from October through February.
Yeah. It's a ton of stuff, man. Like, between that time, people are just comatose. Like, I really don't want to be here in this space. Yet doing it out of obligation. Ooh, boy.
So I think, so there's probably several different audiences listening to this discussion, or will listen to this discussion. One is it's Christian leaders, right? Christians and Christian leaders. So first of all, to that audience, I would say read the book, because we have an obligation, as we are responsible for how we influence people and shepherd people. We have an obligation to constantly get better at how we serve and care for people. This book is going to challenge you to do that. This book is absolutely unequivocally going to challenge you to do that. I think if you're listening to this and you are grieving and you are struggling in some ways with grief, even if it's fresh, or even if it's been years, I think this book makes space and gives language to probably some of the frustrations that you've been carrying.
For sure.
So I would encourage you to get the book, because I think even if you're dealing with grief, I think she wrote this book in a way that's sort of cathartic for those that are trying to figure out how to navigate it.
Totally agree. Yeah. You can see the cathartic nature of the book, even in her own journey too, as she's writing it. So I can see that. Yeah, for sure.
There's a couple things. Here's our disclaimer. And we talked about this briefly, but we can go into more detail with it. There are some elements of the bone as a Christian that we've got to take the meat and spit out the bones. There is in the book some other religions that are integrated in some of the things that she says. Some New Age and maybe even some Buddhist practices. But if you are sound enough in your theology, you'll be able to recognize that. And if you're reading the book with audio or Kindle of some sort, there is some language in there that you got to be mindful of. So if you're listening to it around others, you want to be mindful of that as well. So what else, overview, Pastor John, what else would you add? What were some of your other takeaways?
I would say that the book is interesting. It provides both discomfort and comfort. So the discomfort comes in where you have to reset all the cultural things that we have learned around grief. Say it's okay that you need to be able to do these certain things. Like, you can do these things and not feel guilty about it. And then the other part, the comfort is that you're saying, okay, now that I've reset the cultural way of doing things, I ain't crazy.
Right.
We're still feeling this.
Yeah.
Like, we're still feeling the grief of losing someone 30 years ago. Like, it's fresh. So I think those are two things I was like, man, yes. People need that. They need that comfort, and they need from somebody else who's experiencing it. Not so that she could tell her story to make it worse than your story, right? And she talked about that in the book, but just so you know that there's someone else who's gone through this and someone who is trained in this area as well, to be able to process it through yourself. So I thought that was good.
So from a just basic analysis in terms of the book, first of all, you know, and you and I talk about this almost every month when we're evaluating books. Does the author frame the book in a way that here's what the book is about, here's what I want to tell you about, do they tell us what they just said, and then do they help recap what they're going to say? And I think she nailed it. Like she gets an A in my book on that.
I totally agree. And then she gives you kind of a middle ground, like here's the approach you need to be taking.
Yeah.
And then didn't point out the flaws of the cultural approach before she said, okay, now that I point those out, here's where you need to move towards. And I like solutions-oriented books, especially when you're talking about grief. People are like, yes, you feel me on my grief. Now what do I do with it?
Yes.
And she lays that out and she nails it for sure at the same time.
Yeah, so I would absolutely. So my overall grade for this book is an A+.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's definitely on the must-read list in that category of grief, death, loss, whatever, anything that may be.
Yeah.
And for anybody who's a believer, you better believe that at some point you're going to experience loss.
Yep.
And being able to handle that in a healthy way without all the catchphrases or without hearing the catchphrases and not feeling offended by them. This will be helpful for you and help give you language around it.
Yeah. So Miss Megan Devine, high five to you on writing this book, on being vulnerable enough to share your story in this way. And I would say this too, I don't think that this book is overtly Christian. It's not anti-Christian by any stretch of the imagination. And so I think it's important for people to know, like, as you come into the book, like she's not writing this book trying to say, like, here's our biblical principles. And she's not, you know, that's not her point at all. The focus is, and I love the word that I'm going to start using this word, emotional literacy.
Oh, yeah. That was a good phrase, man. Good phrase. Yeah. I
was like, what?
I like it. I was like, okay, emotional literacy.
Yeah.
Hey, did you coin that phrase yourself?
Yeah.
So she started that early on, like in the introduction, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Pastor John. So let's jump into it, man. I don't know if we're gonna get through the whole thing as we sometimes struggle to do.
Probably not, knowing us, but we can do our best.
Yeah. So in the introduction, she tells us, you know, here's the parts of the book. Here's why I got it structured this way.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm going to cover. She covers it. I think, to your point, every chapter has some very practical things throughout the chapter. At the end of the chapter, you know, there's some questions even at the end that she poses that we can kind of just very practically take away and kind of walk through that. So let's just kind of high level. Let's walk through a couple things in the book that kind of help us to stand out. So chapter 1, she talks about the reality of loss. What do you want to say about that, or what stood out to you from that chapter?
Man, this one got me.
Okay.
Some things cannot be fixed. They can only be carried. Man, in a generation or culture of fixing, and I'm a fixer, right? Hearing that is freeing. Because grief isn't it's not fixable.
Yeah.
But it is carryable.
Yes.
And I'm like, man, that right there, that's a soundtrack phrase. We talked about John A. Cupp's soundtrack book. That's one of them phrases that you carry as a soundtrack.
Yeah.
In the world of grief, for real.
Yeah. I completely agree.
Yeah.
Here's something that she does throughout the book, and this is a statement. So I'm on page 8, Pastor John. She says, whatever grief you're carrying, it's important to acknowledge how bad this is, how hard. She says it really is horrendous, horrifying, and unsurvivable. This book is not about fixing you or fixing your grief. It's not about making you better or getting you back to normal. This book is about how you live inside your loss, how you carry what cannot be fixed, how you survive.
How you survive. Yeah. Yep. I highlighted that one too, man. That's good, man. Like surviving in it. That's good. That's good. Yeah.
This is so. I think to the point that you were making earlier about the quotable. There's so many quotables in the book.
Yeah.
That's just like, oh, that so much sense.
Yeah. She's got a bunch of them, man. I was highlighting a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, and then later on in the chapter, she said loss gets integrated.
Yes.
Not overcome. Like the integration of loss into your normal life or rhythm is an interesting idea and concept. Like you really need to integrate it into the normal life. Like we always want like all the flowers, bells, and whistles, man. But when you integrate all the stuff of life into your life, it makes you more well-rounded.
Yep.
And then you can't compartmentalize it, man. It has to be part of that integrated lifestyle. That's why, we're pastors, preachers. That's why the Psalms is so doggone diverse.
Yeah.
Right? It's an integrative songbook. Yet we don't have integrative lives, even though we have an integrative songbook.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. I'm with it. Chapter 2, the second half of the sentence. Why words of comfort feel so bad.
Yee. Yeah.
Man, listen.
Man, this is a chapter right here. Because the second half of the sentence part got me.
Yes.
Because what you say on the first half matters very little to the person grieving because they hear what you say on the second half.
Yes.
Like, at least you had them for as long as you did, second half, so stop feeling bad. Even though you don't say so stop feeling bad, that is what your intention is.
Yes.
Like, this is all part of God's plan. So you should stop feeling bad.
Yes.
And oh my goodness, how many of us have used these phrases that she's used? They're in a better place now. This is going to make you a better person in the end. On the other side of this, everything happens for a reason. All these things are good things that people want to say to help.
Yeah.
But when she talked about that second half of the sentence, she said, make sure you add the phrase, so stop feeling bad, and you'll understand why the grieving person finds it offensive that you're saying that to them.
Yeah. So I'm reading this chapter, and this is the chapter that made me rethink and is going to make me rethink how I do eulogies.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Right. Yep. So here's an example of something that I did unintentionally and didn't realize until I was reading this book why it was so helpful. I didn't know. Like in the moment, I was just being authentic to what I was feeling. But one of the previous churches that I served at, we had a guy that passed away, man, and he was just he was loved. He was just one of those lovable people, man. Just lovable guys. He would sacrifice the shirt off his back for anybody. Just you never saw him down, never saw him have a bad day. And man, he passed away in his house, and he had been in his house for a week before anybody found him.
Wow, bro.
And it just, man, it broke me. It broke the church, all of us, man. It just broke us. And so, man, I'll never forget. I did his funeral, I did his eulogy, and it snowed that day. It snowed that day. So not only did it snow, but the power in the church went out because of the snow.
Wow.
So here we are trying to figure out what we're going to do because it's snowing, so we can't go to the cemetery anyway. The power is out in the church. What are we going to do? So we ended up going to the fellowship hall, which was downstairs in the building, and having his funeral in the fellowship hall. And I remember saying out loud, I don't like none of this. This was during the service. I was like, I don't like none of this. I don't like the weather. I don't like the fact we're in this fellowship hall. I don't like the fact that I got to preach my friend's funeral today.
Wow.
And his mama walked up to me after that funeral and said, "Thank you for being honest."
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. That's good, man. Woo.
You know, and I didn't realize, I didn't connect the dots in that way until reading that chapter, this chapter 2, that even for our eulogies, what people need is not the pithy statements, not the ones that we think are going to help them. They just need our authenticity, man.
Yeah. Yeah. That's all they want.
They need us to be authentic to, man, this sucks. This hurts.
Yeah. You gotta be honest about that, man. Eulogies and words of comfort.
Yeah.
Like she mentioned words of comfort that try to erase pain or not comfort.
Yeah.
So, folks be on program for words of comfort, and it's like you come in with an eraser trying to erase the pain, man. No. Lean into it.
Yeah. Here's a powerful quote that I underlined and highlighted. She says, "There's so much correction inside grief, it can be hard to feel that anything is helpful. For now, it's important to know that most things offered as quote unquote support in our culture are really designed to solve problems and get you out of pain. If it feels wrong to you, it is. Grief is not a problem to be solved. It is an experience to be carried. The work here is to find and receive support and comfort that helps you live with your reality. Companionship, not correction, is the way forward."
The way forward. Yeah. Yeah. Man, companionship, not correction. That's great. That's great. My goodness, man. Woo.
Yep.
He also said grief is not an enlightenment program for a select few. Like, what?
I had to run that back when I read that. I was like, whoa.
Man. I know, man. You're in this learning program that God sent your way specifically to enlighten you. What? What? Yeah. I thought that was good that she pointed that out, man, to make sure that it's not this thing that we're going through, this process, this program we're going through.
So I realized this too, as we get into chapter 3, I realized that the church Christianity has also borrowed so many statements from culture that have not been shaped by our theology.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's facts, man.
Like we even, we'll say things, I know they're looking down on us right now, smiling.
What? Where's that in scripture? Why would they be looking down on all this pain, suffering, heartbreak?
They are not looking down at us smiling.
No, at all. At all.
And so even this part got me. Now, this is way later on in the book, but that whole point about angels, right? So if we say that they are angels watching over us, they in fact have actually been demoted.
There's a demotion. If you're created in the image of God and now you're an angel, that's a demotion. That's what you go from the major leagues to single A ball. What is that? But I mean, the cultural influence, though, man. All this, like these Christmas movies, when these human angels come back, that's where we get these concepts from, and not necessarily in the word of God. Like, no, man. Ain't nobody no angel.
Yeah.
I know people who are created in God's image. That's what I know.
Yeah. Yeah. So the chapter 3, she goes for the therapist and the clinicians on this chapter.
Oh, she came for their heads and their necks.
She's like, our model is broken.
Right. The models is done. It's done. I love the fact that she talked about the stages of grief.
Yes, sir.
In this chapter, because everybody talks about them. Everybody knows the stages, and they're like, let's just move people through the stages of grief. And she said, what began as a way to understand the emotions of dying became a way to strategize grief. Like people come up with a strategy to move people through the stages to get to the end. of the
You got to
grief.
finish that. You got to finish that. Finish the rest of that paragraph, though, Pastor John. Go ahead and finish the rest of that
Grief
paragraph.
is expected to move through a series of clearly delineated stages: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, eventually arriving at acceptance, at which time their grief work is complete.
This widespread interpretation of the stages model suggests that there is a right way and a wrong way to grieve, that there is an orderly and predictable pattern that everyone will go through. You must move through these stages completely or you will never heal. Getting out of grief is the goal. You have to do it correctly and you have to do it fast. If you don't progress correctly, you are failing at grief. Here's the thing. In her later years, Kubler-Ross wrote that she regretted writing the stages the way that she did, that people mistook them as being both linear and universal.
When the person that wrote it know that people that been misusing it, now everybody's a stages of grief expert and want to get people through the stages. And she's like, no, that ain't what I set out to do, which is crazy.
The stages of grief were not meant to tell anyone what to feel and when exactly they should feel it. They were not meant to dictate whether you are doing your grief correctly or not. Her stages, whether applied to the dying or those left living, were meant to normalize and validate what someone might experience in the swirl of insanity. That is loss and death and grief. They were meant to give comfort, not create a cage.
Come on with the alliteration, lady. Miss Megan Devine, they were meant to create comfort and not a cage. Oh gosh. Oh Lord. Yeah.
Hey, Pastor John.
What?
Can I be honest with you?
What?
I read that section and went and took a nap.
That was it, man. That was nap time after that, huh? No, that was really good, man. Yeah. It's crazy. She mentions that people find themselves like actually educating their therapists about the realities of grief, which is wild. That people who are trained to do this need this education from folks who are in the middle of it, in the midst of grief.
Yeah,
that chapter was good, man. It was really good.
Yeah. So, for me, I think I will still talk about the stages of grief, but absolutely have different handles for it.
For sure.
Absolutely have different contexts for it and all of the things that go along with that.
Yeah.
Chapter 4, emotional illiteracy and the culture of blame. Anything you want to say about this chapter in particular? She talked about.
I think sometimes people's minds immediately go somewhere when people, and she mentions this, when loss is violent, accidental, they blame folks because it's like, man, somebody had to do something wrong for this to be this violent and this, this intense, right? And so there's this victim shaming that occurs or blaming that occurs in the midst of that. And it sucks for the person grieving because it's like, man, now I got to deal with that shame on top of it.
Yep.
That's wild, man.
Yep.
That's wild.
I love that she talks about spiritual bypassing in this chapter. Because that is, I think, something that I've when I became aware of it, and that it was a thing, I started being very careful about, how do we find ways to encourage and comfort and strengthen people, but also not bypass the reality of what they're navigating. And, I think, when I see scripture, I see that scripture, that you can be full of faith while you're still in the trial.
Yeah. And I mean that those two are not exclusive of one another. Yeah, they complement each other. Yeah.
So I thought that was good. And really, by the time we get to chapter 5, I think as we get to chapter 5, she's using chapter 5 as a way to turn the corner to say, okay, I've laid the foundation for y'all. We need a new model.
Yeah. She done climbed this hill. Now she's turning the corner and saying, all right, here's what we're going to talk about now.
Yeah.
This middle ground that we got.
Yep. Let's go to part 3, man, for the sake of the balance of our time together.
Yeah, that'll work.
Because part 2, I think, is very practical. Gives some practical steps and ways that I think are helpful. And expands people's options for what they can do and how they can do it to navigate the grief that they're walking through. She does some creative suggestions in there with, narrative writing or scrapbooking or, poems and things like that. I thought that was all really good stuff. Let's jump into part 3. The section there, the title is When Friends and Family Don't Know What to Do.
Ooh. Why is that the case, man?
What?
That they just don't know what to do.
I think it's a perfect storm, man. I think people are generally afraid of death. They're generally afraid of dying. It's an uncomfortable conversation for most people. Solomon says in Ecclesiastes, Solomon says it's better to be at a funeral than to be at a party.
Ooh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And what he's acknowledging is, when you're at a funeral, you are sober minded. The fragility of life is before your very eyes. You're thinking about your life. You're thinking about what really matters. You're thinking about priorities, your motives. You're thinking about your heart. You're thinking about all the things that you have left undone in life, just all of that. At a party, you're not thinking about that. Parties are meant to sort of dull your senses and cause you to just only focus on the moment, the present.
That's good, man. Yeah.
And so I think it's hard for people to talk about death. I think it's hard for people to talk about dying, especially if you've lost loved ones and you've never, in a healthy way, processed that, right? And processed what that means to have lost folks, in a healthy way. But here's the last thing I'll say. I think this conversation is hard for people because people generally are afraid of silence.
Yeah.
And they would rather fill the air with something.
Yeah. See it all the time. People going over to grieving people's house and it's just quiet and they want to say something. It's like, man, they just want you to be there.
Yeah.
Just presence is fine. I promise you. Presence is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Okay. So chapter 13, man, here's a paragraph that really stood out to me in chapter 13. Now, I got the Kindle version, but it's on 189.
Okay.
The version. It's under the subhead to share or not to share.
Yep, you're right. 188, 189.
Okay. Part of living with grief is learning to discern who is safe and who is not, who is worthy and who is not. Part of living with grief is also learning to discern for yourself your own right timing to share with others. It's okay to be cautious about what you share and when. Your grief is not an open book, and it doesn't have to be. When, where, and with whom you share will shift and change over time, sometimes even within the same day, but you always get to choose. Those who support your shifting needs are the ones to keep in your life. The others, they can be set free.
Bro, she says earlier in the chapter, everybody doesn't deserve an explanation.
That's right, man. That's freeing right there. That is freeing. Like, some people feel like they have to explain their grief, but everybody don't even deserve that.
Yep, she said everybody doesn't deserve your story. Yeah. So I'm reading the book, and like there's, at the beginning, she starts telling these stories about, when her husband died, and I thought about these things before, but I hadn't thought about it maybe this deeply. Where she talks about, you don't want to shop at the same grocery store because you know that the cashier that's there, is going to ask some questions, right? Or, your family members or like your parents or his parents wanted to memorialize his life a certain way, at the church or do a memorial in his honor. And she's like, I don't want to do that, right? Yeah. That's not the way I want to grieve. I don't care about your tree being planted. I don't care about, your fundraising in his honor.
Right.
I connected that story to this section right here and was like, this is what she's saying. Like, she's saying, like, you get the right to choose not how you feel, but how you choose to respond based on that relationship. That's good. And based on where you are.
Yep. No, that's good, man. No,
so good. The next section, she's got, man, listen, she's a writer. You hear me?
Yeah.
She's a writer, bro.
I like the way her chapters lay out. The subheads are helpful, man. You could tell she's a good writer for sure.
Grief rearranges your address book.
Ooh. Just rearranges it. I like that, man. I mean, it's the truth, though. It's the truth. I mean, at some point, you gonna have to rearrange some of that in the midst of that grief.
Yeah. She talks about your support system in the next chapter, which I thought was just very practical, again, very helpful, and also does so in a way that it says to the person grieving, you need a support system, but here's how you can help your support system help you.
Yeah.
I thought that was good, man.
I like her list of do's and don'ts, man. Obviously, the things that people can implement like immediately. You know what I'm saying? So I think that helps people who are trying to be that support to do it the right way. So I like that list that she came up with.
Yeah, the last few sections and chapters of the book were just, I thought, really good. When you get to the very last section, that appendix where she talks, I'm just looking at our time, how to help a grieving friend. And so she says here, my essay on how to help a grieving friend is among the top 3 most shared posts I've ever written. A lot of what I've mentioned in part 3 is summarized in this essay, so I've reprinted it here to give it to friends and family who want to help. You'll find a printable copy, and then she has the link there, and that kind of thing. So I just think it helped, man, that not only was she a therapist, but you could tell that she had critically thought through what's helpful, what's not helpful prior to her own experience of losing her spouse. And then that helped to add and help to she was able to revisit and reshape and reform her approaches to this conversation, of course, after her husband died. And I just, to me, it was a perfect, we are the benefactors of her choice of survival.
For sure, man. I commend her for even writing it, but also blessing the world with it. And it will help us as preachers, pastors, folks who do eulogies and who have to deal with people who go through grief and loss, but it also helps anybody, any Christian believer who needs to be able to process it themselves or come alongside others to do it, man. So A++++ book, one of my favorites of the year so far. And
one of my favorites of the year.
Yeah, I'm glad we decided to do it.
It's okay that you're not okay.
Man, God be looking out, man. Last year when we were looking for books, that book came up and we were like, man, that might be a good one on grief. In this time period, and the Lord know what he's doing, don't he?
He knows what he's doing, brother. The timing of it and everything.
Every single time.
Yeah. Well, anything else you want to say about the book or say about grief, man, or say about this season in terms of encouraging people or helping people navigate any of this?
Man, we all should feel convicted by it, man. Everybody has to get better at this, particularly in the African American context and space.
Yeah.
Like, we've been forced to move on because our lives dictate it, because our experiences have dictated it. And, as Black men, oftentimes I didn't see older Black men deal with grief well. And it led them to early graves. So I'm trying to help break that cycle with my son so he kind of sees when I experience those moments of loss. And it's not even death. It's just loss, period. Like, where you feel like something just didn't work out. How do you process that? How do you deal with it? Being able to do that, hopefully it helps to change the narrative in our own community. So I would just say that.
Yeah, I clearly walked away from this book saying we've got to get better at supporting and caring for people with grief.
Got to do better.
Got to get better. And I think this book is going to help us do that.
Got to do better. Yeah.
Megan Devine, if you happen to see this, if you happen to encounter this, we honor your contribution to us getting better.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. This is amazing.
Man, we got one more.
One more.
John Bevere's The Awe of God. is up next in December. And we talked about this book a little bit and decided to move forward with it. We'll probably talk a little bit about that on the session that we're going to go into, but we feel like it was necessary we move forward with it. So we're going to do that. We're going to do that. I'll leave the rest of that conversation for the session itself.
No comment.
And you was ready to let it go. So Pastor Christopher, I know our listeners may go back and listen to this, and there's some who may be here now. We've already put our list together for next year. We just had our little strategy session, so we're excited about it. We'll obviously be sending that list out to you all who have subscribed to the newsletter. If you have not, make sure you go and subscribe. But man, we got a good list, Pastor Christopher. We felt good about that thing. We got through it in like almost an hour, a little bit over an hour. We're getting better. Y'all can tell he's excited.
Go get your picks.
Yeah. Oh, he coming up with the New Year's thing now.
Oh yeah, man.
Get your fix in 26. I got you, man.
Yeah. If you're a pastor or a preacher listening to this, please do not feel forced to alliterate your church's theme as you head to the new year.
You don't have to. It's fine.
The same way that we've been delivered from having to eat chitlins, you are delivered from having to alliterate your theme.
I know, man. 2026 can be the year of fulfillment, the year of blessings, the year of anything else. It don't have to be your fix. In the mix in 26, man. Get out of here, man. Going on somewhere.
I can see it now. I'm pausing because I got a whole bunch of words that are running through my head of words that people are gonna try to use.
I often feel like some pastors are aspiring, like they want to be rappers or something. In a past life. You ain't gotta do all that, man. Obviously, I like alliteration on sermon points, stuff like that. I ain't mad at it. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna force it. Sometimes I get to that third point and I say, okay, it's gonna be a different letter. It's okay. It's fine.
It is okay.
It's fine.
It is okay. Because at the end of the day, does it edify God? Does it glorify God and edify the listener?
I want to be faithful to the text.
Yeah.
That's what I want to be. Period.
Yeah.
Man, I'm excited, man. We got one more, but 26 is laying out really nicely. Excited about next year, man. Excited about hanging out with you 12 more times in 26 and walking through some more books, bro. It's going to be an amazing third year. This is our third year, which is
man, this thing is so life-giving. It is so life-giving.
Yeah, I love it, man.
It is so life-giving.
Yep. It helps each of us to be accountable to read.
Yes.
And it helps the folks who are watching to kind of think through some things that are topical in each of these books. And I just pray that God's glorified in it all, man. We're excited about what he's doing through what we're doing, what we got going on.
And we will circle back to you all. Please, whatever platform you're listening to this on, the link for subscribing to our email list is at the bottom. You can also follow Pastor John and I. Our social media handles are at the bottom of the image that you see on the screen there. I'm at CJ Harris ONE. Pastor John is John C. Richards on multiple platforms. You can connect with us there. And we are also going to be communicating at some point to tell you when we're going to circle back on the book Super Communicators.
Y'all saw that now. CJ Harris 1, not the 2, not the 3, but the 1. I see it.
Pastor John, funny story about that. I actually wanted my name when social media first started, and somebody had already grabbed it. Somebody had already grabbed my name.
Wow.
Figuring out ways to shorten it. And I actually got that handle and got those handles before my first son was born. And I got it as a way to sort of prophesy that I wouldn't be the only one.
Okay, come on, prophet. That's going to be a 2.
And there is. God is faithful.
I love it, man. I love it.
So happy Thanksgiving again to everybody. Enjoy the rest of this day. today and this weekend is a sports lover's dream weekend. You got college football today, you got NFL today, you got NBA today, you got college women's basketball, you got college men's basketball, you got volleyball going on. Listen, 'tis the season.
Georgia Tech coming up today.
I already know who you're picking.
Oh, you already know that. You know.
But I'm going for the underdog.
Oh, that's what we doing today, huh? Hey, my pick is always whoever's playing at Florida State.
You said playing at Florida State?
No, whoever's playing Florida State is my pick. You ain't gotta say nothing, man. It's okay. You can just watch us at the playoffs.
Wow.
Hey, man, you just listen. You understand that Georgia Tech is clean old-fashioned hate. It's one of the oldest rivalries of all time. So when you tell me that you're going for Tech against my dogs, then we gonna come for you.
The only reason I'm doing that today is because there's been so much shakeup in the ACC.
There has been, yes.
That's the only reason.
So
That's
you
the
want Tech to win? Well, Florida State doesn't have a chance, but I guess you want them to win so it can.
And now there is a strain of Florida State in there.
A strain?
Yeah. Because the offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach is Chris Winkie.
Oh, man. That don't mean nothing. He gonna get beat just like anybody else. I don't care if it was Charlie Ward. I don't care if it was Jameis Winston. I don't care if it was who's the other guy that played running back? One of my favorite players. He played in Tampa Bay, didn't he?
Talking about Ward Dunn?
Yeah, Dunn. I don't care if it is any one of them. They're gonna get this L today. L.
Listen, Georgia is good. Georgia is good. And I don't have any personal beef against Georgia. You just
got petty beef with me. I get it.
No, none at all, bro. None at all.
You just pulling for Georgia Tech. I got it, man.
I'm a little sour on the SEC right now. I will admit that.
I understand, man. It's hard when we keep doing what we're doing. It's hard.
Alabama should not be ranked that high, but it is what it is.
Boy, we got a good sports weekend, man. I'm going to text you tonight after my dogs win by 15-20. And then we can go into the rest of the weekend.
I bid you Godspeed. I bid the game God well.
Oh, all right, y'all. We getting off this live.
Yeah, everybody have an amazing Black Friday, an amazing weekend. We'll see y'all in December. And oh my goodness, what's the date, Pastor John? December 19th. December 19th.
Before Christmas.
Before Christmas.
Yeah, before Christmas.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Have an incredible day, an amazing day. We'll see y'all soon. This is the Christian Leaders Book Club. Peace.